Henshaw here again, your friendly local constitutional coop in California. And what a week this has been. Heading into July now and quote unquote Independence Day. This will be my 55th year of not celebrating it since I don't see any independence out there anywhere. I don't know about you, but I sure as hell don't see any. And that's why I've set my life to help teaching you how to go in there into their corrupt courts and some other ways as well, as you'll learn to invoke rights secured by the Constitution, Creator endowed inalienable rights. We start doing that, we get our government back in maybe almost record time here, given the justices we have on the U.S. Supreme Court right now, the unprecedented window of opportunity we have here to make some real progress. Now, that said, one of the decisions the court just made, and it took a very long time to make, the Jarkesy case out of Texas, Securities and Exchange Commission, and they had oral argument at Thanksgiving, and just decided it 2 days ago on June the 28th, crying out loud. And it's a combination win and a loss, because what they did there was unfortunate, but they did it anyway, especially when they had a case in the last term that I've talked about in my videos called Action v. Federal Trade Commission. That's all but res judicata on this same case. Same issue, same result. Not here, but there should have been. And I think the conservatives know that was a unanimous opinion last year, they decided. And I've talked about that, and you get a copy of that when you request information about my constitutional defense document packets. Send me an email, uwinning@gmail.com. And in this case, it was the same issues, the same result, or it should have been. All the court ruled here by 6-3. The liberals abandoned them here after having gone along with it last year. Don't ask. Is that Jarkesy did have a Seventh Amendment right to trial by jury. And on the surface, that sounds like a great thing. That's right, the way it should be. And if they adhered strictly to the Seventh Amendment, that would be true. That's not what these conservative justices did. And I don't know why. Because all they in effect did was said that he has a right to a jury who can rule on the facts. What the fuck good is that if you can't rule on the law? That's the whole point of trial by jury according to the course of the common law, is they have the power to do both. That's the ultimate check and balance. Get a hold of a copy of Lysander's book, Essay on Trial by Jury from 1850, and read all about it. And you can get excerpts of me. In fact, I'll send some to those who request information about my materials that I have for sale. That's one of the things you get, not the whole book, but some quotes from that. And you read it, and it makes perfectly good sense, especially with the government we have today. You know, that 95% of it is centered in my hometown of Washington, D.C., based on interstate commerce, federal, regional, martial law, rule, you name it. It's got to stop, and it's got to stop now. When we get back to where we were, in 1787, wasn't a perfect government. No one's saying it was, but a hell of a lot better. And we can go from that starting point, make changes, and do it right. And put the New York banksters out of business. That's the big problem with all the money. You'll learn more about that money issue too. No one stops to think about that. But when you understand what's really going on, that's the key to the whole thing. So that said, this Jarkesy case, and it's he has the right to do that. What that means is the FTC, the FTC, the SEC can still choose to initially go after you in an administrative proceeding that you're going to lose. And the only cite that even the conservatives made about the Axon case, they pointed out in that case there was a second case involved where a lady went in before the administrative law judge who admitted on the record in 20 years she had never ruled against the government. Why bother? Total waste of time. And that's what these New York banksters want. So they get you coming and going, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. And it gets even worse as you'll learn in some upcoming videos. They're, talking about the remedies we're supposed to have. but we don't have any, especially against the de facto national socialist government. It has to go and as quickly as possible to get our sovereign independent states back for the first time in arguably 150 years, and then have most of that government settled in local government at the county level. That works. It still may not be perfect, but that said, you have a lot more control at the county level, much less expensive, more efficient, easier to control with real elections. That's government. And at the local level, we can make them well very early on that even you don't have unlimited power here. You have to respect our creator endowed inalienable rights secured by the Constitution. And I would love to see that come in before I go out of here, which with a little luck, maybe 8 or 10 years. I've been thankful for my great health. Every year I'll be 76 later this year. Life is ahead of me. That's how good this is. So that said, remember to subscribe, like the videos, get the word out. The quicker we take effective action, especially in the U.S. Supreme Court, the quicker we get these bastards off our backs. Thank you.